Kyle Rittenhouse is targeted in court once again. We'll look at one of the experts from whom President Trump should supposedly have taken advice. And Melania Trump is advised to plan her escape route. I'm Mike Huckabee with your August 29th edition of The Breakdown. If you get to the end of the video and find it informative, I hope you'll subscribe to the channel. Be sure and leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments section below. Before we get into the main story for today, a couple of updates. First, how many times does Kyle Rittenhouse have to be harassed by way of the legal system for actions that have already been found by a jury to be self-defense? The answer? At least one more time. According to townhall.com, Kyle Rittenhouse revealed on Friday, by the way, the third anniversary of the incident in Kenosha, Wisconsin that put him in the spotlight, he found out that he's being sued for a third time, this time by a firm representing the estate of Joseph Rosenbaum. You may recall that Rosenbaum is the one who had been recorded behaving erratically and violently throughout the night. And he was even a convicted pedophile. When Rittenhouse had been put on trial previously for murder, he was found not guilty. Evidence presented at the 2021 trial already proved the claims by the firm representing Rosenbaum's estate to be false. So this probably won't get very far. It seems to just be another way to harass Kyle Rittenhouse and to give people another reason to be afraid of defending themselves. I'll update you more as information comes forward. In other news, an AP NORC poll released Monday found that a staggering 77% of Americans think Joe Biden is just too old to be effective in a second term. That kind of seems like a no-brainer to me, since he was too old to be effective in his first term, and he ain't getting any younger.
$159 billion left. When I signed the bipartisan infrastructure again, which Shanga Koawa.
The poll, which included 1,165 adults representative of the U.S. population, found that view is held by 89% of Republicans and even 69% of Democrats, and it holds across all demographics. Even old people think Biden is too old to be president. Of course, this is not meant to imply that people become incompetent just because of their age. Each person is a separate case. I'm sure Joe would have been a lousy president at age 50, and Mel Brooks is 97 years old, but hey, I'd trade Biden for Mel Brooks right now in a heartbeat. When asked to pick a word that best describes Joe Biden, 26% of respondents said old, outdated, aging, or elderly. 15% said slow, confused, or bumbling. 2% said liar, dishonest, or untrustworthy. And 6% said corrupt, criminal, or crooked. Now, in the spirit of impartiality, I must point out that in the same poll, nearly a quarter of respondents described Donald Trump as a liar, dishonest, untrustworthy, corrupt, criminal, or crooked. I'm sure the lying, dishonest, untrustworthy, corrupt, criminal, crooked news media has had no part at all in skewing public perception in that direction. Now, on to the main story today. Since Jack Smith's most recent round of charges against President Trump are based on the idea that he knew that he legitimately lost the election because he was told that by experts, it seems reasonable to look at who are these so-called experts. Revolver News did that, and they dug up some jaw-dropping info. In addition to the expected roundup of deep state intelligence spooks who'd spent his entire administration lying to and lying about Donald Trump and trying to frame and remove him, there was also an agency you might not have even heard of until recently. It's called CISA. That stands for the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. This shadowy cabal came to public notice recently when the House Subcommittee on the Weaponization of Government revealed that CISA illegally set up a social media censorship division during the run-up to the election, all designed to pressure social media platforms to silence users. And then they tried to cover it up when it was exposed. But, surprise, it gets worse. The founding director of CISA is Chris Krebs. The Foundation for Freedom looked into his past statements and discovered that My goodness, he makes Joseph Stalin look like a libertarian. To cite just a few examples, he thought the Hunter Biden laptop looked like Russian disinformation, but he didn't care if it was or not. The important thing was that the media not cover it before the election. He believed that every lawyer who represented conservatives challenging election irregularities should be permanently disbarred and banned from ever practicing law again. He hoped conservative news outlets would be bankrupt by Dominion voting systems lawsuits, and he hoped that the same should happen to anyone in the media who questioned voting machines in 2020, which, by the way, he helped administer. He had the same totalitarian views of anyone who questioned the government's COVID-19 protocols, even wanting to censor humorous T-shirts. He even canceled his own DirecTV subscription just because they carry the conservative network One America News. And Trump claims he didn't believe it when people like this guy told him the election was on the up and up and his loss was totally legitimate. Well, obviously, Trump should be imprisoned for not believing guys like that. In the midst of all of Trump's legal woes and potential prison time, PR expert Jane Owen is recommending that Melania should keep her distance from President Trump and to prepare an escape route for herself. I'm not making this up. The attempt to drive a wedge between Melania and Donald Trump is nothing new. Earlier this year, the Shrills over at The View offered this enlightening perspective.
Why is Melania still there? I'm wondering about that.
I'm sure she'd get, never mind.
Is there a reason now?
No,
there have been allegations.
There could be monies in exchange, deals made.
He's almost broke.
Allegedly.
According to sources, an ambiguous thing to say, I know, when the first of the indictments began rolling in, Melania has no intention of abandoning her husband. As the aforementioned source put it, quote, Mrs. Trump is strong. She's focused on her family and stands behind her husband, as she always has. For the past 7 years, the left has made multiple attempts to smear and attack her family. This is just the latest attempt to bring him down. As President Trump's enemies work tirelessly to tear apart his campaign, his family, and the country, just make sure that you do your part in praying, speaking out, and when the time comes, be sure to vote to take our country back. Well, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel below. Be sure to leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments section. Catch the Live with Mike live stream tomorrow. That's Wednesday the 30th. A little different than our normal Friday. We'll be on tomorrow, Wednesday, and I'll cover more of the news. You can ask me anything you want. Of course, if you want more of my news analysis and commentary, be sure to sign up for my newsletter at MikeHuckabee.com. It's totally free. That's going to do it for this edition of The Breakdown. I'm Mike Huckabee.